This video, I'm going to show you the absolute best fly combination to catch shellcrackers, bluegills, to do any kind of bedding fish on the smaller size. It's going to be a brim killer, and I tie a fly that I tie on as a tag behind there, and I'm going to show you how to tie that fly as well. This is a number 10 natural bend hook 2 times. You can tie these all the way up to a number 6. It's according to what fish you're trying to catch. But this, we're going to tie the brim killer first. And I know I've got some videos on here before, but I'm going to show you the whole combination what I use. So I'm using a 70 dye thread right now. It's been a while since I've been tying any, so I'm kind of looking for material as I go. You can tie these in different colors. I like brown, black, white, chartreuse, orange. But for this purpose, I'm going to tie it black. And this is a micro size chenille. And I'm going to carry it all the way back to the hook point and come back. Right. Then we're just going to wrap it back up toward the eye, but we're going to stay about a 1/4 inch away from, because we're going to be tying some squirrel tail on there for the wing in just a minute. So we're going to run that thread right back to the center. And then we're going to take 4 pieces of, this is a smaller size rubber legs. And we're going to have 2 pieces of it, one side of the fly, 2 pieces on the other side. I should have split them before I put them in there. But what you do is put you a couple of loose wraps, and then you can grab the rubber and just pull it around to the sides where you want it to stay. And then what I'll do is put a few additional wraps, and then I'm going to tie it off on top of it. And this just helps in case your thread gets broken while you're fishing it. It'll hold those legs in place. And you can add flash to this wing, but I normally don't. So we're going to use a gray squirrel tail. I've tried using fox squirrel, but I really don't like the movement of it. It seems like the gray squirrel does the best. And like I say, there's many combinations you can use. I really have a good luck with the orange. So we're going to tie that back on. We're going to take us the squirrel tail, pull them legs back, and just tie it right here behind the eye. And if you got a small clamp, you can actually, looks like what I'm going to have to do today. My hands ain't wanting to cooperate. But you can take a hackle pliers, and if I could find mine, let me see here. Do excuse me for this. Thought I had everything I needed. You can pull them rubber legs back and take a hackle pliers and just kind of hang it off like that. And then you got your whole area up here to work with. Alright, get that hair back. So you're just going to tie it off right behind the eye. Put your good wrap on it. Try to dress it up with this 70 diameter thread. You can put quite a few wraps on it, and then we're going to welt finish it like we always do. Then you can move the hackle pliers out of the way so you can get back up there to your legs. These didn't split out, so we'll go ahead and split them now. Take your thumb and just go right behind your thread and just spread that rabbit squirrel out. I mean, not rabbit squirrel, squirrel tail out. So you dress up that. And then you can take and cement the thread at the head. And then normally I'll put just a dot of glue right there on the bottom. And that'll help tie that thread in as well. So that's your main fly. It's brown killer, size 10. Now I'm going to show you a fly that I come up with, and I probably 10 years ago, I guess. And this is going to be a size 10. You can go to size 12, just regular. I normally use dry ply hooks, but you can use either size, anything you want to use. So what we're going to do is run the thread back to the hook point, then run it back up about 3/4 of the way. Alright, these flies we're going to be tying. That's what it's going to look like when we get done with it. And like I said, I use this as a tag to go behind the brim killer. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a piece of close cell foam. It's like that. That's a little thicker than what I like it. So I'm just going to cut me a piece to the thickness that I like, and it's basically probably 3/16, and we're going to cut that off to a point. Then start this foam and bring it back to the hook point. Now on this you can use dubbing, you can use about anything you want for the body material, but I'm going to use dubbing on this. And this is master class dubbing, and it's kind of got a mixture of black and red. This ain't really necessary. You don't really even have to add this if you don't want. But I added it to the original fly, and I like to kind of keep on adding the same stuff. Alright, now we're going to take a saddle hackle, match to the hook or just a little bit bigger. We're going to tie it in. And we're going to start wrapping it backwards. And we're going to go to that hook point. Then we're going to come back up to the front. Am I doing this right? Yeah. Then we're going to tie it off. And really what this is representing is the fuzz on the bottom of a fly. That's why I say you can use one with shorter barbs on it. Alright, we're going to bring this back. Well, let me work my thread back about 1/3 of the way. And then we're going to pull that foam forward and tie it off. And clip it. Then clean up the head or the thorax area. And you can do this really 2 different ways. You can bring it up, tie it off 2/3 of the way, and then leave the part for the rest of the thorax area, or you can do it just like what I'm doing here and just tying it all back. So we're going to take a turkey tail feather, and we're going to pull off. That's a little bit more than what I like. And what we're going to do here is make the wings. So we'll just bring it on your thread and bring it on to this side of the fly, and we just kind of wrap it in there. Right. Then we're going to take and pull this back. Now we're wrapping both sides to make the wing. So you separated them. So get that tied in. And I'm going to make them wings just about to the back of the hook. Kind of point them backwards a little bit. Alright, what I like to do right here is take a little bit of super glue, and I'm going to coat them wings and glue all that together so it don't separate when it's in the water. And it's just stiffening that fly up. This fly will go through a lot of hits, so you want something that's going to kind of hold its own when the fish goes biting it, because this is the fly you're going to be catching most of your fish on using this combination. Alright, so now I'm going to take that hackle feather again, tie it back in, and now just put you some hackle. Usually about 4 or 5 turns will be plenty, and then tie it off. And pull everything back and just clean up the head, and we'll finish that. There's a good bit going on right here at the eye, but so you just clean it up just a little bit. Don't take much. What you want to make sure is that you can get your fishing line through the eye. So make sure you poke it out, make sure you got plenty of room there. And then we're going to take head cement and finish off that thread. And just seal it so it don't come apart on you. I normally fish a 3-weight fly rod using this combination up to a 5, but I got a short rod that's just a little bit over 6 feet that I really love to fish or use when I'm fishing the river, and I throw it sideways to where I can get under all the limbs that's hanging there. All right, the bottom of this fly, you can kind of clean it up a little bit, about the same distance at the bottom of the hook. And if you got any wild barbs, you can do that on the same. Okay, so what you're going to fish is you tie the brim killer to your leader, then bring you a piece of I use a 2-pound test piece of leader, and what I do is give me a piece about 18 inches. I'm going to tie the line to this hook, back to this one. So these hooks will be running in tandem. This one's 18 inches to 16 inches above this hook. And this is the fly most of the time you're going to catch your fish on, because the brim killer will be the attractor, and this fly is going to float a little deeper. So if you got some floating, put on the brim killer to keep it from sinking. It's going to be right up under the surface of the water, but let this one sink. And that is the deadliest brim combination I've ever fished, ever come up with. It'll even outdo your poppers. So do yourself a favor and really tie some of these up and be ready for some action, because even the small brim are you going to really enjoy catching the fish on this little fly tied behind your brim killer. So that is my number one fly combination for gill fishing. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope this will put fish on your line or in your bucket, and enjoy your time at your bench. And we'll see you on the next one.